Hi, I'm back again. So I just want to today somehow or the other finish this, then we'll go to our next chapter. Then SSC is also coming the next day, so I'll be recording for SSC. So if you have any problems, I'm still telling you, if you're subscribed on the YouTube, please drop in a message, that what you want, or if it, did you not understand anything, or you want more explanation to it, and you want to ask anything, you want to know, unless we, you know, share the views of my sharing and you understanding or not. If you have any issues, please do. I'm always there. I'll be most honored and happy to help you guys out. That's my job. My sharing is my job, so I'll do it. And you guys know it very well. You have been with me in class 8, but for a very less time. We used to be in that class one period, and suddenly by the time we finished, the bell rings. So I had to move very fast. So memories. So let's get back, and we'll go to the line 19th, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, in which I have written down. Actually, I have done this. So Johnsy tells Sue that she has been counting the leaves left of the vine. There are only 6. But there are only 6 now. But 3 days earlier, there were 100. Enough to make her head hurt, to count them. But it's easy now. Just imagine her thinking inside her, what she's gone into negativity. What type of thinking she has gone into the broken up. But it's now easy. As she speaks, another leaf falls, leaving 5. Johnsy says she's confirmed, I'll die when the last one falls. Sorry. She has been knowing this from 3 days, and even told the doctor of her belief. This vague belief. Doctor got surprised, what is this? In my whole lifetime, I have never heard of all these things, and suddenly I'm seeing that the leaf falls, my medicine is not working, and the belief is working here. What nonsense. What is this type of thinking she has? Myth. Sue rejects Johnsy's nonsensical suggestion. Sue rejects Johnsy's nonsensical suggestion. She says that the ivy leaves have nothing to do with her health. Come on, cheer up, boss. What has got the leaf got to do with your life? Sue says the doctor said her chances were 10 to 1. And figures that Johnsy's risk of death is no greater than it would be if they walked past a building site or rode a streetcar. It's no greater than, if you're rode a streetcar, someone comes and bangs you, and if you're walking past a building site, something falls, you can die. It's something like that. She tells Johnsy to drink some broth. The broth is made out of chicken, it's made out of bones or meat or something, and that soup type of thing. But Johnsy says she doesn't want any. I don't want to eat or drink anything. Another leaf falls. Johnsy wants to see the last leaf fall before dark. Then she will die. Now Sue tries to divert her mind from not looking at the leaves. She says she would lower the blinds, but she needs the light to draw by, and her illustration is due tomorrow. Due tomorrow means she has to deposit it tomorrow. She has to show it to someone. That magazine illustration which is going on. Then I'm putting down it. You don't have to look at that. Leave it. Just rest. But I need some light for it to come in so that I can do my work. Johnsy is telling her, why can't you go and draw in some other room? friends. So she says that I want to be near you, close to you if you need anything. Care. Sharing is caring. Johnsy closes her eyes and says she can't wait to see that last one fall. Now the scene is changing. Even a person who goes to hang himself or herself, they want to live. Because it's not your time. You cannot do it. But I'll say, tomorrow it rains, I might die. I'm going to die tomorrow. The last drop of rain will fall. These are all useless things, Mind goes mad. Sickness makes you like that. Fever makes you like that. Johnsy closes her eyes and says she can't wait to see the last one fall. She is tired of waiting, of thinking, and she wants to release her hold on life. She's fed up with her life and goes sailing down like one of the poor tired leaves. When they fall, they fall. The Josh is not there. She wants to go off sailing like that. Go off, finish my life. Enough is there. I cannot hold on anymore. Now Sue is very cared about her. She says, you please sleep, and tells her that I'm going to get back just now. You just take rest. She needs to ask Berman to come upstairs and pose as a model for an old hermit miner for her illustration. He was old. Now in the story, it's already told about us how Berman is past 60 with a long beard, small body. He's also a painter. So she needs that hermit miner, small hermit miner, old hermit miner for her illustration. So she wants to call Berman. There's a person there, free of cost. He is also a painter, but he has failed to have a career in art. He always speaks about wanting to paint a masterpiece, but he never begins it. He makes money painting for advertisements, posing as a model for young artists in the neighborhood who can't afford a professional. Hiring a model also takes a lot of money. He drinks gin heavily and thinks of himself as being responsible for the safety of other women who live upstairs. He's a nice old man. As though he's a huge mastiff dog waiting to protect them. Large mastiff dogs are very huge. Very protective, they protect their family a lot. Whoever they stay with. So he's that caring type of person, a mastiff dog. Like I am also a dog, I am a one-man dog. Seriously. Some people call me a black horse, some people call me a one-man dog. My last boss called me a one-man dog. Because I used to listen to nobody, only I used to listen to him. I used to listen to my dad, he passed away. I used to listen to my mom, she passed away. After that I found this person, he was my guide. He took me out of depression, My guide, my philosopher, my friend, my boss. And he used to call me a one-man dog. He said, you are untraceably and impossibly to be controlled by anyone except one man. So whoever you like, you will be controlled by him. So I control you, you like me, so I control you. And the financial auditor who was there, the government auditor from the central, he used to call me a black horse. He said, no one can control you, no one can ride on you. You don't take anything from anybody. So I was a very optimistic person from childhood, So it's like that. That person was very caring. I am also caring. I care about everybody. That thing should be there inside. Then your life will have a meaning to live. You won't think, the last leaf is going to, my clothes are hanging, if the wind blows, the 5 shirts are there, one falls, I am dead. No, it's not that. Life is not to be just given up. So in Bearman's dream apartment, Sue finds him smelling of the juniper scented liquor. A black canvas sits in the corner waiting for his masterpiece, which he has not touched for 25 years. As it is lying. 25 years passed from when he was 45, he is planning to do that. Next video I'll come back.